If you can make $1 in the stock market, you can make $1 million in the stock market and beyond, right? So this video is for anybody that doesn't fully understand the opportunity that is stock options, or somebody that may have taken some L's and is taking a break or something like that, right? I want to encourage you guys and I want to help you understand what's really going on here. So I'm a firm believer if you can make $1 in the stock market, just $1, right? Then you can make a million. You can make 10,000 a month. You can make 20,000 a month. And I'm gonna break down exactly why that is. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I got a whiteboard right here on the computer, and I'm going to break it down for you. All right. With stock options, before we get into that, I want you to understand that with stock options, you are able to control 100 shares of a stock with one contract, right? So one contract equals 100 shares that you can control, all right? And you can sell these, you get the rights to these shares. So if you're gonna get into a call and you get depending on the strike price and stuff, you're gonna get 100 shares at that stock price. If the stock goes up, then what that means is you can sell your rights to these 100 shares if you have one contract. If you have 5 contracts, that's 500 shares, right? So with one contract, I'm gonna go over it, but I just want you to understand that you're controlling shares, right? And what happens is even you could lose $500 this week, right? You could lose $500 this week, but if you understand what I'm about to teach you and tell you, then you're not going to be worried about that, because you can make it back and become very profitable. All right. So let's go on the computer and let's get into it. Boom. So we got this right here, right? So let's look at Microsoft, right? Let's say you got into the trade right here and then you got out right here, right? So that's a $4 move. So the stock went from 416 to 420. All right. So let's say that you got, we're going to put Microsoft as FT. All right. So let's say you got one contract and you paid $200. All right. All right. Now, let's say that you got in and you paid $200 for one contract. Now, let's say you end up selling these contracts. The stock price went up by $4. So let's say that stock, those contracts, that one contract is now worth four points, which is $400, right? Boom. And you sell it. What that means is you just made 200, right? That would be a crazy trade, right? But this is just for the purposes of helping you understand this, right? So you made $200. Now, the magic happens when this same exact trade, right? Let's say you got 5 contracts, right? And I'm talking about the same exact thing. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, right? The same exact trade. Let's just say you had more money, and instead of one contract at $200, you got 5 contracts and you dropped $1,000, right? So you dropped $1,000. Now what happens is that same contract is worth $400 or 4 points, right? Now 4 times 5 is 2,000. Boom, right? Same exact thing. So 4 times 5 is 20, which is 2,000. And then 4 times 1, my bad. 4 times 1 is 4, right? That's 200 in profit, right? I didn't mean you would make 200. You would have made 200 in profit, but you would have made 400 total. All right. So This is the same exact trade. So you can trade right next to me in the same room and we can make different amounts of money, all based on how much money has been invested. It's simple as that. I do not want to overcomplicate this, right? So when you're looking at all these candles and all these moves, we're talking this one candle could equal $100 for one person and it could equal $5,000 for a different person. All because of the amount that you've invested into the stock, into the option play, right? So what happens is on this contract, the contract's moved up $200 per contract, right? We'll put a C for per contract. Same thing here. They move $200 per contract, but you have 5. So now you have 5 contracts. And if each contract went up by $200, $200 times 5 is 2 times 5 is 1,000, right? So you would have made $1,000 in profit, right? $2,000 total, but you would have made $1,000 profit, right? So it's the same exact trade. There's nothing different. The only thing different is how much money you have invested. And it's that simple. It's that simple. So I want you to understand that if you take a L, it's okay. Because you can get that money right back within seconds or minutes. But also, if you take a strategic approach to this every single day, you will be able to get to a point where you're consistently pulling out profits in the market. And it's also important to understand that trading stocks, or trading in general, but trading stock options, is a zero-sum game. And what that means is if you make money, somebody else loses. And if you lose, somebody else makes money off of your loss. Period. Right? So you have to understand the psychology that the market is playing, but also you want to understand how that really works. So if I make, this is how I psych myself out. If I make $300 on a trade, I will tell myself I just made $3,000. Obviously I didn't, but I know that that same trade, because I executed properly, I made X amount of dollars, but I know that if I would have invested more, I would have made more money. If I would have invested 2x more, I would have made 2x profit. If I would have invested 5x more, I would have made 5x profit. It's really, really, really that simple. So I want you to understand, if you can make $1 in the stock market, you can make 100,000, 10,000, 250,000, a million. All the only difference is if you have the same execution, the only difference is the amount of money you're investing in per play. How many contracts you got? That's how, if you get into play and you make $50 in 30 seconds, let's say $100 in 30 seconds. If you would have invested more, you would have made $500 in 30 seconds. Same play, same movement, same everything. The only difference is how much money you invested, how many contracts you bought. And I'm not saying go buy more contracts. What I'm saying is, if you're only making a couple dollars, $50 here, $80 here, don't worry about that. What you want to focus on is your execution. And once you have your execution down and once you have your execution right, that's when the games begin, because now you start building up your money and you can start investing more and you can start making more money. And that's when the game really changes for you. And then you start being able to print crazy amounts of money in a matter of minutes. All right. So the name of the game is leverage. Leverage the money. Leverage the money. Know what you're doing. Study. Stop taking this lightly. Because if you lock in with stock options, man, in 12 months, your whole life could be completely different. All right. So if you can make $1 in the stock market, you can make $1 million and beyond. Right. So I want you to keep that in mind. Stay in the game, stay in the fight. Don't give up. Study, do what you got to do, and let's make this happen. All right. Always remember, get out of your head and get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.